Welcome back to Wedlocked and Loaded.
Wedlocked and loaded.
You women.
Do not lump us all in one category.
So you girls and lie and stretch the truth and try to get us jammed up.
First of all, I'm a whole ass woman, right? Think about
no
that.
No disrespect.
Sounds like it to me. So why can't y'all? What is it with men that they just can't walk away?
Depends how good it is. You don't want to give that away.
Greetings, everyone. New episode of Wedlocked and Loaded. This is episode 143, and we are back.
Aw, I love you too, baby.
That's sweet. I need words don't work. I need you to prove it.
Anyway, go
So
ahead.
my name is Daniel Laurent.
Are you sure?
Greetings, everyone. This is Wedlocked and Loaded. My name is Daniel Laurent.
And I am Leah Nicole.
So I was gonna ask you to check in, but I don't even know. I think I just want to skip through. I don't even want to do foreplay.
What up, though?
Just skip right to the.
Baby, that is far from foreplay. Just so you know.
What? Asking how checking in? That's not foreplay?
Listen.
Exactly.
Listen.
Anyway, to keep continuity, how has your week been?
I mean, it feels like it just started, but it is what it is. It's been going. Things have been going.
Improvements?
I guess there are some, in a sense of I am able to identify things more. For instance, I guess, when I am doing activities in terms of my therapy, when I'm doing activities, I can identify when I am pushing myself to my limit, and just being able to identify when it's time for me to actually stop and slow down. So yeah, there's improvements in that area. But overall, I'm here. And that's all I can say is I'm here.
I mean, that doesn't sound...
I mean, it's not.
It's day by day.
It's definitely day by day. And I think, it's not, the weather doesn't feel like it's changing much. But I guess it doesn't really help that the weather will be changing soon. I mean, I can see that, the sun is out, it's lighted longer, which is typically a great thing, right? But it just doesn't feel good to still be in a position, I guess, so to speak, where, I'm not I don't feel like I'm living my life.
That's a brief pause.
Yeah, this feels longer than brief to me.
Well,
but
being a hot girl, that's the downside. And I've always tried to tell you that, even in episodes probably 5 through 10. There's downsides to that because it's just not a sustainable way of being, right? And so it is what it is.
A sustainable way of being. Definitely not a hot girl. And
I mean, you've always said that, but if you weren't that, then it wouldn't be that much of a...
I think there's a difference between a hot girl versus someone who, enjoys life, right?
That's I'm not what always... you call it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I do what I do, right?
I know.
But,
I know. Well,
I don't know what you're implying, but
nothing.
It ain't that. I'll tell you that.
It's all good. It's definitely all good.
That was early on in a relationship.
I know. I just realized something. I'm going to have to get all of my smooches in because, yeah. So.
Because what? Because
you're not going to be able to. At least not tomorrow. So I'm going to get all my kisses in now.
Damn, did we talk about that?
No.
It's crazy.
I mean, I don't know if you... But...
I don't need to.
Yeah,
it's just, I mean, it's definitely...
it's wear and tear, yo. And when you're out there in those streets, it's crazy because...
I didn't use my teeth when I was out in the street.
Jesus.
Flag on the play.
Leah,
You know
sometimes, so here's the deal.
What?
Sometimes you can go with like the alluding and just like allude.
Absolutely.
You don't have to like so what you do is like classic improv.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like yes and, right? So if I say like, yo, why is your face blue? Like you never in improv can say my face isn't blue. What are you talking about? You have to say, oh, I ate a blueberry for breakfast. Like, but you typically will just add on to something that doesn't need to be added on to. My comment wasn't even disrespectful.
Oh, it definitely sounded like it was.
I don't care what it sounds like. It
okay, that's the way I interpreted it.
Then you're wrong.
Okay, so then it's your job to correct me.
No,
it's
not after you,
because
you should have asked for clarification before you just inserted.
But I know who you are.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Anyway, Leah.
How are you?
I am doing a lot, but I just feel like everything is a whirlwind.
Yeah.
And so, and I was just talking to someone earlier and just saying like, I think certain things I attract, similar to like if you date a certain type of person. I think that, of course it's my schedule where, there is a wedding that I'm in and it's, a rehearsal on this particular day that's in my calendar, and it just happens to be the same day as like a team meeting that's pretty important, right? Or of course it's, we're going away.
Oh God.
And then the day that we're going away is the day of an opportunity that I've been like working on for months.
Yeah, shit happens.
And it's like, yeah, but it's I don't look at it as shit happens. Like shit happens is like,
yeah,
like how do you resolve? Messing. Well, yeah, I don't think it's really frustrating.
I understand.
Because because things are important for different reasons. It's not like somebody's inviting you out to a bar.
Yeah.
So anyway, but regardless of what's happening, I am in good spirits, even if I'm not in good spirits in the moment or towards the end of the day. Like the next day I definitely start anew, which I'm appreciative of. So, yeah.
That's what's up.
So, what's on the docket? So the first thing, I feel like it's something old. You found a clip and it was about built up anger.
Okay.
So let's insert that and then we can discuss it on the other side. Let's see.
Sometimes, bro, her anger ain't even anger. It's built up hurt. Because women don't just wake up angry. They slowly drown in ignored feelings until that emotion erupts. Like, she told you what she went through in the past, and you put her through it again. She defended you against every person that talked down on you. You proved them right. She rooted for you and told the world how she loved you, and you made her look like a fool because of it. But now she's the bad guy because she's not such a nice girl that you took for granted. The audacity. And I'm aware that anger can be destructive, but sometimes that's the last language left after her kindness got taken for weakness. And it's funny how all of a sudden you want to be so anti-destructive after doing all of these things that would eventually destroy her ability to trust you, herself, and anybody else that may want to love her. Like, that girl ruined her mental health to be with you a little longer. Yet you questioning her loyalty because she no longer takes your disrespect with a smile. No, the only thing you should be questioning is your character, because you took a girl that only wanted to love you, and in return you gave her a trauma that she now has to heal from.
So,
what's real shit? What do you feel about that as a man?
It's hard for me. I mean,
do you feel as though, let me rephrase the question. Do you, do you understand what what's your interpretation of what the people are saying? 2, do you feel like you have been that asshole of a man? Or on the receiving end of...
ask the question again, because it was 2 questions. Okay, and I just...
So 1, what do you how do you receive what was said? And then the second part is, I won't
Have
call
I?
you.
Have I? Yeah.
Do you feel
Well,
like you
just
have
have
been
I been an
on?
asshole?
Well, I'll rephrase it. Do you feel like you have been on the
Doesn't.
receiving end of a tired woman?
The first part, I think I hear what he's saying. I think to me, this just it kind of it perfectly morphs into something that we had on one of the previous shows about, a woman is just a mirror of, how you come to the table, how you present. I feel that. What do you mean?
Go
you
ahead.
feel like it's two different things?
I feel like they're definitely two different things.
I think I don't know. I mean, there's obviously truths to it. I just think that when statements are made like that, and maybe it's how it's presented, and I think me and you spoke about this offline about, the messenger, like if people are making content, when it's stuff like that, where like there's a guy talking and it's closed captioned and it's music behind it and it just sounds preachy, I just don't receive it. Right. But if I take all that away, I can understand the message. I certainly feel like that applies, it applies to some guys I know that have been hurt by a woman early on, and they now are the hurters, and they're now going around and inflicting on people. Now, if I look at myself, I think of the Jay-Z line we referenced on the show before. Once a good girl's gone bad, she's gone forever.
But once a good girl's gone bad, she's gone forever.
And even with you, like, and we've talked about it, like you don't love me the same as you did before. And, the relationship has went through different metamorphoses over the years.
Yeah.
And things that I didn't quite see and pay attention to, or chose not to pay attention to.
Oh, I love that.
There's consequences to that. And so I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I think, I don't know. I get it. Yeah. And I think that I've certainly, I'm living in it. I'm living being on a receiving end of not a woman who is, I forgot what he said, not jaded. What's the word? What did he say? Ruining mental health and stuff like that. And obviously I think there's degrees to it. There's degrees to being abusive and manipulative and really like going in on someone's person and their whole spirit versus, in our case of you not feeling protected in certain spaces and, feeling like you're tolerating disrespect. I think, you could speak to on a receiving end of feeling that. I think that's a different thing of me doing said things and also possibly being physically abusive and being emotionally like, yo, you ain't going nowhere. No one's ever gonna, blah, blah. Like I think that's I don't know. But I also think in extremes. I see you shaking your head, and yet
because I'm very confused as to how we got there.
Because it said like you are you're causing her trauma to her mental being, or however he framed it. Just saying like, you are like damaging her.
Of course, essentially you are, right?
Yeah, but I think
so, and again, like one can lead to the other. But it's definitely like it's emotional abuse, right? Like, which doesn't have anything to do with the physical, until it gets physical, possibly, right? But I think that I don't know what's worse, right? Like for me, for me, I've probably been that female to a male in my past, right? Where maybe he thought that there was something more to what I had in my mind, in regards to, like whether he felt like we was like boyfriend and girlfriend, and I felt like, oh, we just kicking it. You know what I'm saying? I think that so like I it's possible that I could have been that person to another person, right? And I think that there's a very large difference in when you are with a person, you are committed you claim to be committed to a person, but you are disregarding their feelings, right?
Mm-hmm.
As the woman on that side, on the receiving end, for me, I just, I'm like, hey, like this is supposed to be a safe space. Like I should be able to come to you and tell you, hey, I don't like this. This makes me feel uncomfortable. And as my man, you're supposed to course correct immediately, right? Like I shouldn't have to keep coming to you, telling you that I don't like it. This ain't cool. Please stop. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
As a Libra woman, I was afraid for you because I didn't want to crash out. I was afraid for you, but I was afraid for me for you, if that makes any sense. And I think, when we were going through that time, I kept telling you, like, yo, please stop playing with me. Please stop playing with me. I don't want to have to show you, but I can show you better than I can tell you. You mentioned earlier about me telling you, like I don't love you the same, right? And I think that level of love definitely has something to do with, our past experience. But I think regardless, the love is going to evolve when you are with it should, right? When you are with someone for so long, because if you're growing and the love is stagnant, then there's a problem there. Like your love should grow with you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't, there was a time where I didn't trust you with my heart, right? Like I didn't trust that you would be able to, or that you would protect my heart, because what you were showing me was breaking my heart. And I mean, I think the crazy thing is, and it's not crazy, but like for most people, the things that were happening weren't outrageous, right? And I guess maybe for you, in your mind, like, yo, I'm not doing X. Like, what's the big deal if I do A? You know what I mean? But if I'm telling you I don't like what A looks like or feels like, please stop doing A, then like it's your responsibility to stop doing A. Now, it's one thing if, people don't say stuff. If people are not expressing how they feel, then you'll never know and you're going to continue to do it. You know what I'm saying? But, in retrospect to what the things that, in retrospect not retrospect, A was less detrimental than Z, right? To a relationship for some people. But for me, A was just as potent as Z.
And I guess my thing was I didn't understand why you would think that way. But at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter.
Well, because if A happens and something, at one time and nothing is said, but then it happens again and then something is said like, "Hey, I don't like it, please stop." That repetition of of A constantly happening despite me saying, "Hey, please stop, please stop." That little thing grows to a much larger thing because you're not stopping.
Well, so
What's that?
Talking about like preferences.
Yeah.
And things that you prefer.
Yeah.
To or to not.
Yeah.
Trick Daddy did an interview recently. And we'll play a piece of what he said, and then we will talk about that.
Way I asked her, where you at? You ain't my dad. I'm not your bitch. I hope I'm not your daddy, bitch. I want to know where you at, bitch, in case you get in an accident, in case you get a flat tire. I'm not. See, women want to get treated like niggas. I can't. I don't like niggas. I'm gonna treat you like a nigga. I treat niggas any kind of way. You want to get treated equal. So you telling me you want to get treated like a nigga because you can never be a nigga. You can never be me. If a man gonna be a man, are you really a woman? Why you don't cook? Why you don't pay more attention to me like you pay attention to your eyelashes? A 50-year-old ain't got no baby here. Why do you wait till you were 45 to get braces? It's shit like that. Like, you, bitch, you waited you 45 years old to get braces. And now you got your little daughter, 21, getting her body done. 23, and she 23 years old, and she got her titties done. You ain't even have a baby yet. That shit gonna drop. You got to get them done again. You understand what I'm saying? Like, ain't no 40 years old. You're 45, you ain't got baby hairs. Those are not baby hairs.
So what's your demo?
I want a bitch I can leave something. A bitch I can raise, because you can't re-raise nobody. Somebody I can raise, somebody that appreciate me, somebody that I can learn them something. You know what I'm saying?
So, and it goes on, but
Insane. First of all, I don't even know where to begin. Honestly, I don't know where to begin. I mean, I think there's just so much. There's so much.
Trick Daddy dollars, baby.
So let's talk about
305.
Well, I'm not even gonna talk about, let's talk about raising bitches.
Well, I mean,
I think everything it's just insane. I can't. I really cannot.
Okay, so before you get into it, are you impacted / annoyed by what he said equally as the person he's saying it to, and they're not challenging and pushing back? Or you just feel like it's one and the same?
Doing their job, they doing an interview, they're not going to challenge, right? You know what I'm saying? Because for them, it's entertainment. If the motherfucker was talking to me, absolutely. I would absolutely challenge every little thing that he just said. Raising bitches? You just talked about these bitches getting their titties done and they ain't had no kids yet, right? So, and that's a stretch. Because every 23-year-old is not going out here getting titties. If the people got braces at 45, maybe they just got some good-ass dental insurance. Like, big fucking deal. At least they trying to take care of themselves so that they can look presentable. What are we talking about when it comes to you? How well are you maintaining your overall health?
Well, he has lupus.
Great.
Well, that's not great.
Again, how well are you taking care of your overall health? When you have an autoimmune disease, you need to take care of your overall health. Even you need to pay attention to it even more so than someone who does not have one. So how well are you taking care of your overall health? You worried about raising bitches. No, you don't want to raise them. You want someone that you can control and manipulate. That's not raising. You can't build with someone that's 45. Why? Can they be trained? No, they cannot be trained. However, you should be able to build with anybody that you can communicate with anybody that's interested in actually building with you. But to say that you like that just sounded nuts to me. You can't grow and build with somebody that's 40, 50 years old. Why not? People do it every day, Bean. Or you run into a headstrong person that's in your age range and you don't like the challenge. Okay, say that. Because even a 23-year-old is going to give you some pushback, baby. Know that.
Well, I think that he I don't know. It's very interesting all around, and I don't know. He, there are a lot of people, there are a lot of men who feel that way and echo those sentiments. And
I would say the same thing to them. Like, they need to grow the fuck up.
Yeah. I mean,
it's as simple as that.
I think definitely it's a controlling piece. And also, on paper, the older a woman gets, she is thinking about future life partner, and younger, maybe not. And so if you just want to go out and have a date and have some fun, like that's more your demo versus a 55-year-old. But I would challenge that and say the 55-year-old might have just came out of a 10-year marriage and they have no interest in locking in and just want to have a good time. So I don't really understand that. I think, some people look at that as a flex to say that, like, I only date, 22, 25-year-olds, this, that, and the third. But I think that when you're saying that, it actually says more about you than what you think it's saying.
Absolutely.
And that's the part that's just interesting to me. And as far as the mileage thing, I mean, some stuff he may believe all of it, but like sometimes people are just saying stuff and it's just salacious, and it's like once you lean into it and the ball starts rolling down the hill, then you just kind of keep going. So he's like, you can't take that mileage back. I immediately thought of a car back in the days where I put like mad miles on it, and I think it was like over the thing, and I was like, damn, I wish I can bring it to such and such, and they can roll it back a little bit, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? But there are people who definitely they try to clean up their whole facts for sure. And in theory, like when you move to another state, like you can start anew. There are plenty of people that did it.
Hey, listen, I'm not challenging that, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with going and starting over. But then let's also talk about, like, you're sitting up here saying, like, you can't take the mileage back. My dude.
Every other city we go,
probably can't even get hard without assistance.
Every other video.
Like, let's talk about that. How much miles you put on that?
Yeah, but in theory, Leah, the more experience helps.
Bullshit, because every female vagina is not the same. Every female does not like the same damn stroke.
No, but like if you're experienced, No, but if you've driven enough cars, Lee, you know how to park.
He
You know
strikes me
whether
as.
whether
Let me
it's a
tell you something.
Lamborghini or a Honda Civic, you know how to
I will
parallel park.
challenge you to that. You know why?
Why?
Because it ain't the same. You take a Lamborghini,
Yeah.
which is a smaller vehicle, and you take a motherfucking Chevy Tahoe.
Yeah.
Can you park it? Sure. Will it be perfect? Probably not. You know why? Because you're not accustomed to driving such a big body. Okay?
Well, but then that's
and by big body, I'm not referring to the people's vagina.
Well, I mean,
I'm just telling you that everyone is different.
Sometimes you have hot pockets, and sometimes you have black holes. And so for the black holes,
yeah, those are for the people that have the micro penises.
No,
everything feels like a black hole to a micro penis.
Well, sometimes you have to fist, and that's fine too.
I don't know anything about having to do that.
Fistings, I mean, it is what it is. It's not for everyone, but I think that
Anywho,
yeah. So he wouldn't be a person. So let me ask you this though: what if it wasn't Trick Daddy that said that? What if it was Idris Elba or
he would never.
What's his face?
He would never.
I can see his face. Damn.
He would never. But regardless
what's the dude's
of
name?
whoever it is,
He's in the Tyler Perry movies.
I don't know.
Mustache, goatee.
Please don't. I don't know.
All the chicks be throwing their panties
but
at him.
No matter what, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who is saying it. I would still challenge because it's an asinine thing to say.
Which part? All of it?
All of it. Every single last bit of it. For me.
I mean, I don't agree either. But again, I think it's some salaciousness that's mixed in there.
Yeah.
So you're not
None of that matters.
All right,
bullshit ass shit.
All right. So next thing on the docket was, what do we have? We had all right, so we had this, we'll insert here.
As a man, do you think men should be given a second chance after cheating?
A short answer, no. But
okay, good.
Ask the men, are they willing to give their own girl a second chance to cheat?
The double standard. I will say that not all men, but a lot of men have this expectation that, oh, you know what, it's in our nature, not be monogamous. If we cheat, you should be ride or die. But then they wouldn't forgive their partner if their partner cheated. It's wild.
It's a cope when people say that it's in their nature just because they don't want to change bad behavior.
Wait, can you please reel it?
Can we hear it louder for the people in the back?
Please repeat that, what you just said. You said it's a cope. Why is it a cope? Say it again.
It's a cope because they don't want to change bad behavior. It is easier to say that it is natural. That way you don't have to make the hard effort to actually change your bad behavior.
This is why I'm wearing the ring.
Because if they had a sister, they wouldn't want anyone to treat their sister like that. But
irony.
But the crazy part is that you don't have to have a sister to understand that. The concept of doing unto others as you like them to do unto you should be common sense to people. You wouldn't want to get cheated on. So why cheat on people? It's that simple.
Facts.
I think my problem with stuff like that is when people say that.
Sounds like you're just trying to be the contrarian here.
No, I just feel like when people say that in some,
which part?
Any messages like that, like they sound really good, and I just wonder if that person actually believes that and subscribes to it. And so that's me just going deeper into a place that I don't need to go to. But if I just take his message
just the
in surface, I do believe a lot of and you don't agree with it. There's definitely the thing like women cheat for emotion, and you disagree with that. So like I don't even want to get into that bag. I think that overall, I think that there's truth to that, right? Is that every woman? Are there outliers who can just like have sex with people with no attachment and no emotional connection? Sure. But I think the majority of how women are wired, I think it's just a different thing. It's an internal thing that's going inside of your body versus a man.
Don't kill me with that shit. So when y'all be eating pussy and ass, is that not an internal thing going inside your body?
No, it's not going inside your body.
Why? What's not going inside your body?
You're going inside their body.
Is their body not going inside? So it's also the opposite. When you're eating pussy and ass,
yeah,
are you receiving something from them that is going in your body?
I mean,
fluid.
I guess, Leah.
You guess?
I guess, yeah. But
so the same.
So to that point, not everyone, people, if they're having sex with multiple chicks, they don't. Some people don't do that to everyone.
Maybe we sat here and talked to the people, and them people ain't everybody, right?
Who are you talking about?
We've talked to a few people who say that they run them down. They run each girl down the same way that they run their girl down. Like there's no difference.
Yeah, some people do that. Some people don't. It's just like you feel like kissing is more intimate.
Absolutely.
I don't.
Yeah.
And so I've kissed more people than I've had sex with.
Yeah. It's debatable, but I won't.
What the fuck do you mean it's debatable, Leah? Like, how do you say that to me? Who's saying it about myself?
Say that to you, but I won't. I said
you
I won't.
did just say it. I'm telling you something.
Really.
I'm telling you something.
I hear you.
Because to me, like, that's a fact.
Okay, but why do you feel like kissing is not as intimate? Like that's really
I don't feel it's more intimate.
That's so interesting.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way. And I dated somebody who didn't kiss.
Yeah.
That would never work for me long term.
Okay.
So I'm not interested. And so I don't understand now. For that being said, like if you're just kind of smashing a bunch of chicks in a night and you're like kissing all of them and doing all the things, like that would not be, I would not be able to be in that bag. Like I cannot go to and I actually have been, and I looked and I watched and I left. But like I can't go to an orgy party and just go crazy and just like do all the things. Just like once upon a time when I was at a bachelor party and somebody was eating a stripper right next to me.
Absolutely.
I'm like, holy shit.
Absolutely.
Now I'm fascinated, like I'm titillated. I like that word. I'm titillated by it. Leah. I'm titillated by it. And I'm like, what?
Go ahead, baby.
I'm like, holy shit, this is happening right in front of my face.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
But like for me to be like, yo, me next, come over here, yo. That's not my bag.
Okay, that might not be your bag. Right?
Like I'm the guy who, when there was a situation, like I had her first and then other people did their thing and I left.
Y'all love to claim first, but yeah, that's cool.
Leah, oh my God. Yo, you can't fucking.
Okay, Ray J.
Leah, I didn't say first in life. I'm saying in that situation.
Yeah, so didn't Ray J. But anyway, here's what I'll say. You might be the guy that that won't, right? I've seen a lot of things with strippers. Okay, for me, I'm that girl who won't either. Now, will I be entertained by it? Absolutely, right? But
yeah, he turned you upside down.
I'm sorry?
Didn't he turn you upside down?
What are you talking about?
The dude.
Which one?
That dancer back in the days.
Back in the days? He probably did. Yeah, he flipped me upside down. But that's right. Like, that's a part of the entertainment.
Bullshit.
So my clothes are still on.
Yeah.
It was a part of the entertainment. Okay.
You had a skirt on.
No, I definitely did not.
You did have a skirt on and boots.
My guy, let me tell you something. I know exactly what night you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I know exactly what the freak I had
on. It's a photo of it.
I will never. Yeah, I had on some blue and black snakeskin pleather freaking pants with some thigh-high boots and a black tank top and a silver fucking chain belt.
I remember everything else, but I don't remember it being pants.
They were pants.
All right. I mean,
I know.
It's a picture. I'll look in it.
Please do. And then what do I get when you are wrong?
I'll lick your face.
I don't want that.
Why not?
I don't like it when you do it or the next do it.
Leah, get the fuck out, yo. Fucking wench.
See, you got me saying stuff I don't want to be saying.
I know.
But no, seriously, listen. I'll you know, ain't nothing wrong with a good strip party, okay? And like I've seen some things happening at the strip party.
Sure.
So like
y'all girls are nasty.
Boy, you just sat up here and said what you experienced.
That wasn't a party. That was just a gathering. But y'all girls be doing that shit in public. They were doing that in the club, and the girls was.
What wasn't a party? You wasn't even there. Stop it.
No, but I heard about it.
Golly.
I heard it, so it happened. I heard all about it. Yeah.
Golly, man,
y'all girls be
with that
fucking
joint.
the dancing teddy bear.
Anyway, damn, I can't.
I can never fucking Dane. I was so mad. He was like, "Yo," he's like, "Leah's at this thing." I just said.
Let me ask you, was you
more I would have shot that. I didn't even have.
Let me ask you.
What?
Was you mad because I was there, or was you more mad at the possibility of me drinking somebody else's nut?
I don't know. I just think it's all wrong. Like, there's nothing kosher about that, yo. And this is my issue. Right,
guys, if you haven't, go look it up. I don't know if it's a real thing.
I think it's
dancing teddy bears or dancing bears.
I think it's dancing. I think it's dancing teddy bear. So my issue is there are people who it's almost like if you're on vacation.
Did you just flip it?
No, it's good.
Okay, go ahead.
It's almost like people who will go on vacation to, like, do their thing.
Okay.
And, just kind of be wild and crazy for that night. But then when they go home, they're back to being a paralegal or a judge or head nurse or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So going to dancing bear and you're like licking all over a dude and letting them jizz in a cup and drinking it, and you don't do that to your old man.
Yeah.
And if your old man says like, yo, blah, 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 and you're like, I don't do that shit. And it's like, I know that if your old man's like, yeah, I want to give you a pearl necklace, you will look at him like he's crazy and like talk crazy to him and say like, I'm not one of them porn bitches. But then you go to Dancing Bear and you're letting him slap you in the face with his, that's crazy to me. I know. See, that's crazy to me. So I think just the mere fact of it, to even step foot in the vicinity, like, you're a dirty whore, yo.
That's wild.
No,
that is a wild accusation.
No, you're a dirty whore to step foot in the vicinity. Why? You can't even be in the warehouse.
Why?
Not even to use the bathroom.
Why?
Because
why
you don't.
Why can't you go there for entertainment? Why can't I go there for entertainment?
No, because you can.
That doesn't mean I'm gonna be getting slapped with penises and drinking gin.
If you walk in that room, that's what it is.
No, it's
that's
not.
part of the sign up.
No, it's not.
Leah, if you're not gonna allow yourself to get slapped in the face, you can't be in there.
Listen, that's bullshit.
That's facts.
It's not facts.
Leah, everyone in that room either sucked or got slapped with it.
No, I bet you they didn't. I bet you they didn't.
And then one chick sucking them, the other dude's lick, and the one dude
traumatized and scorned by this thing.
One girl sucking him, and the other girl is like licking his ass, yo.
Hey.
And so to know that like that girl that's licking his ass is gonna go home and maybe or maybe not take a shower and brush her teeth, but get into bed with her old man.
Hey, same
like that's
y'all
crazy.
Boys
I want to
do.
save. No, man.
Y'all guys do the same.
I want to save humanity. It's my
again.
job to save humanity.
Again, you all do the same thing. I just talked about it. We talked to plenty of people that have had side pieces or had situationships and had multiple situationships, and they said they lay it down the same way they do with the people on the side. It's no different.
I think it is. It's a big difference.
There's no difference.
It's a big difference
because most of the time they don't even know the people that they doing this stuff to.
I think it's a big difference.
There's no difference. Why?
That's not cool, yeah.
It's no difference.
It's just.
And I agree. It's not cool. It's no difference.
Yeah. Well.
So clearly, you was upset at the fact that I was at this establishment, which we don't even know if it's a real thing or not. Is it a real thing?
What are you talking about?
Is it a real thing?
The Dancing Bear?
Yeah.
It is a real thing.
Oh, I
Well,
think I
no,
did
I
try
mean,
to look it up and try to
I don't
go
think it's.
one
I mean, I
time.
think it's a series of porn. I don't think it's like real parties, but
Yeah, because
like,
I'm
but
like, it's
things
not a real thing because
certainly
I definitely
exist
looked it
like
up.
that. Even the chicks that be going to the massage dudes, like y'all are dirty
I don't
birds,
know.
yo.
I mean, we learn from the best.
Really, Leah?
We learn from the best.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. See, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I feel
We learn from the best.
I feel like girls'
'Cause
nights.
you the best, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Oh, good.
Anyway. All right.
I don't have girls' nights. I have ladies' nights.
Same shit.
That's not.
Anyway.
It's the difference between a lady and a girl.
What?
You don't know?
I mean, one has more years and more mileage.
Here you go, Trick Daddy.
Yeah.
You just talked yourself about some.
I mean,
go ahead.
Anyway, so.
Anyway.
All right, we're gonna
Breaking Bad though?
We're gonna wrap up because.
No, we're not. We got one more thing to talk about.
What?
The great debate. The apology.
What about it, Leah?
Oh, did you not see? You know,
I looked on there once.
Once?
Literally once.
Why?
Because I think when I seen it, and it was not too long after we had the conversation, I didn't really give a fuck about you.
But you just sat up there and said, "Call one of your friends."
I told you to call. If you want to do a public, if you want, no, I told you to call.
I'm not calling.
If you want to put it online and let people like chime in, that's cool also. But like,
I'm not calling a friend with that.
I don't really, and I saw like a couple of things saying like, you know, it's both are not apologies. Some people said like one is definitely not, two is blah blah blah. So like, what's your findings?
So my findings is based on the poll.
My findings are.
Don't try to correct me.
No, I'm gonna correct you. Saying you want to talk crazy.
Based on the poll, 93% said.
Fucking percent, Leah. Did you really like count and put it in a?
I don't have to count. It doesn't. It calculates it for me.
Fucking bullshit. Go on.
You're big mad.
Go on.
93% said no, they are not the same, and 7% said yes, they are the same. Okay.
And so this originated from me saying that both of those are the same thing.
Both of them are the same thing. Now, the people that had said, "Oh no, they're not the same," when they gave their dissertation, because that's what I felt like it was. It kind of was like an asterisk next to it, where it was like, it's not, you know, they're the same because, or when you apologize, you should take accountability, right? And it should say, "I'm sorry that I, you know, made you feel this way."
And like actually validate it.
I will never do this again.
Well, that's extra, right? But you don't have to do that part. Because it should be assumed that like you won't do it again.
Some said like if you simply just say "I'm sorry," like that's better than saying "I'm sorry that I did something to hurt you."
Yeah, I'm fine with "I'm sorry," but so you typically will say like, I'm sorry that upset you," which to me is not an acceptable "I'm sorry."
Listen, I will tell you, there's one person that responded to that, and of course, he was a male, right? This is how I know I was a dude in my past life. Of course, he was a male. He is a male, excuse me. And, you know, he's like, he struggles with that. And I struggle with that too, right? I don't have a problem with saying "I'm sorry." I don't have a problem with apologizing for something that I did.
That's not true.
Hold on. I want you to hear me out. I don't have a problem with that. Now, what happens is if I intentionally do something.
That's different, Leah.
No.
That's different.
If I intentionally
threw the water on me.
I did.
Yes,
that's why I didn't say sorry.
That's different. But I still feel the way I felt, especially with you saying sorry to other people in front of me. That's crazy.
I was
that's
absolutely apologetic to those people because it was not intended for them.
And so it took me a long time to get that. So that's different of you intentionally throwing water on me.
And so,
but if you spend a bunch of time out and you intend on being home at midnight and you get home
you're using it wrong.
No, you intend on being home at midnight and you're with your girlfriends or whatever you're doing and you get home at 4, like, I'm sorry, suffices. Instead of, babe, I was calling you and I.
No, that sounds like excuses.
I know.
And that's not.
I'm sorry, period. Yeah, that's it.
You wouldn't accept that, right? You wouldn't accept that.
Try it.
You wouldn't accept that from me.
Try it.
Right? And for me, I want to know that you know what you're actually sorry for, right?
Ditto.
And so adding that, because that, so to back up, where we at on time?
Leah, we're over.
All right, so we'll continue.
Fuck, no, because I don't feel like opening this up again.
Okay, great.
But do your closing statements.
So to know, to back up. Okay, so what happened was we had been out at one of my appointments or 2 of my appointments. I don't know. I felt like it was a crazy ass long day. I hadn't eaten, and Daniel brought me some food home, and but in my mind, like, I wanted a particular thing, right? But I was very grateful for the food that he brought. I tasted it, I was like, oh, it tastes good, but it's just not hitting the spot, right? So I say what I want, but we end up coming home instead of stopping to get what I want. Meanwhile, I guess he steps out the car, he's talking to my son. Whole time in my head, I was like, okay, so girly, okay, we're home. I'm starving. I guess I have no choice but to eat this, right? As I'm going through that in my head, he's on the phone with our son saying like, oh, I bought such and such for mommy, but you can have it. Now, I would be an asshole to be like, dog, he can't have my shit, right?
I don't think so.
You don't think so, but as a mom, that feels like a real asshole move. Because you've already promised it to him.
So pause there. Pause there because I want you to go right back to it. So the flip side is I wasn't involved in the conversation and you volunteered my shoes for him to wear. And then
hold on.
No, Leah, it's
I didn't
literally
volunteer.
Leah, it doesn't matter. You had a conversation with him about wearing them and he called me to ask me.
Hold on.
And I was annoyed.
Hold the horse,
Leah,
Charlie.
This shouldn't. Oh my God.
Hold the horse, Charlie, because what you're saying is incorrect. I didn't say, hey, just go wear daddy's shoes. What I told him,
you told him to call me and ask me.
So that's very different.
Leah,
you didn't.
You put it out there for it to be a possibility without my consent.
Did it? That's fine.
So then you leave it for me to be the bad guy to say no.
They're your shoes.
Versus you in real time saying no, that's my food.
It was too late. You already made the call.
See, I disagree.
You didn't.
I would have said no. I'm eating that.
You did not. And then in my head, because you knew what I wanted, I figured you was gonna go get it. Since you offering up my stuff.
And so add the other piece to this story.
I will, absolutely.
I hope you add the right pieces.
I'm gonna add the only things that's there.
Go on.
So I say, like, maybe an hour or so passes by, right? And now you're on your way out the door, and I was like, dog, and not exactly like this, but I was like, hey, how, like, you gave my food away, and I'm stuck with nothing to eat. Like, what am I supposed to eat? You said you wanted such and such. And I'm like, yeah, I did say that, and I thought we were gonna get it before we came home, but we didn't. And then you gave my food away. Well, you should have told him no. Well, it's not about, you already offered it to him without even talking to me about it. So how am I going to then tell him no after you've already given it to him? So then you leave, you are upset and everything. And then I'm like, oh, did you leave yet? No, you didn't leave. I saw that you was upset. And then I was just like, I didn't mean to upset you. Like, I'm sorry that what I said upset you. and then like I feel like I said I'm sorry first. And then you started saying something. And I'm like, I'm sorry that what I said upset you. Oh, that ain't no apology. You don't know how to apologize. What are you talking about? It's a very valid apology. And so you compared it to me saying, I'm sorry you feel that way. No, when I tell you I'm sorry you feel that way, I mean that shit.
Because you're an asshole.
Well, I could be.
It's not nice.
Listen.
Leah, look, man.
I'm not sorry for what I said. I'm not sorry for what I did. I'm sorry you feel that way. And it's kind of a thing where it's good for you. Now, welcome to my world.
Here's the deal,
right?
Leah.
However, that apology was not that.
Here's the deal.
And so you told me to call a friend. So
I told you to call a friend. And so you chose to call. You chose to post it for friends on your wall and get percentages.
What's that? Millionaire?
Yeah, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You phoned a friend.
I can phone a friend, or I can ask the audience.
So you asked the audience.
So I asked the audience.
Yeah. So yes, that happened. She wanted a burger, right? So I think what was it? Thai food?
Yeah, it was Thai food.
So it's Thai food. You wanted a burger. We were pulling into the driveway.
But I said that before we even
Daniel, I knew he was looking for something. He'll either make noodles or something goofy or chips or something.
Absolutely.
And so there's also, which for me is an important part of this story that you keep disputing, that there were already 2 to 3. There were already. Well, Leah.
And I ate them
this comes from childhood, and I don't know whose fault it is. I don't know if it's aunts, mothers, grandmothers. I don't know whose thing this is, but why don't you fucking eat food or drink juice or soda when it's given to you? All that 5-day hold shit is for the fucking birds, yo. I will give you a can of ginger ale on Friday, and you won't drink that shit until next Thursday. And guess what? On Tuesday night, I'm thirsty and I want that ginger ale.
Drink some fucking water.
Yeah, back at you.
No.
So anyway, I'm not done. So there was 2 or 3 leftovers in the fridge already, and it already irks me with there's because not only do you have a tendency of when we go out to bag up whatever and put in the fridge, our kids do it also. Okay. So there's multiple containers in the fridge that we either that's not truly, and that's disingenuous for you to put that on record.
I ate the mashed potatoes and spinach
because on Sunday, do we not throw away food?
I ate them spinach and mashed potatoes
Leah,
last night.
don't call out anomalies
today, and they were gone. And when I tell you I was pissed off,
the mashed potatoes that I had with my side,
the mashed potatoes and the spinach that we had, because we split that meal.
Get the fuck out of here, yo.
Did we not split that
Leah,
meal?
Oh God, yo. I can't even look, man.
We split that meal, so it wasn't yours.
And you didn't like it, motherfucker. You didn't like it.
I did not.
You said flat out you didn't like it.
Said that I didn't like the seafood stuffing trio.
Yeah.
That's very different from the mashed potatoes and the spinach.
Did you even taste the mashed potatoes?
I ate it last night, and I was going to eat the rest today.
Why are you doing that? Because you had other stuff for you to eat.
My dude.
My girl. You're full of fucking all the granola and the wholesome grains and oats that is possibly in a bag of fucking trail mix.
Of steak and cheese.
Yeah, you just been. Come on, man. All right.
I ate.
Yeah. Good night, Leah. Let's come on. We because.
Excuse me.
Let's wrap this up. I'm gonna get my kisses.
But anyway,
I'm gonna get my kisses before it's time to call it a night.
But anyway, so now you owe me an apology, and you owe me some money and a kiss on my booty.
What? All right, guys. We'll see y'all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. You know what it is. We're locked and loaded. Yeah.
Hey, listen, ladies. stand 10 toes down on what you feel and what you believe. That doesn't mean not to be open to hearing, your partner, but like stand firm. You know what I'm saying?
That's the problem, Leah.
Stand firm.
Y'all women don't apologize.
Baby, listen. If you choose not to accept,
you and all of your girlfriends collectively have probably apologized 5 times in y'all's lives. That's the truth.
Accept the apology. That is on you, honey.
Men and women are fucking.
It does not mean that an apology was not given.
Yeah.
If you choose not to accept it, that is your right. But you cannot negate the fact that it was given. So all y'all men that be talking some bullshit about y'all women don't know how to apologize, y'all can't say sorry and own up to your bullshit.
Why do you sound like Handyman?
Guess what? Back at you.
All right.
Because it's proven the opposite.
All right,
okay?
guys. Wedlocked
Peace
and
be with you.
Wedlocked and loaded. You know what it is.
Wedlocked and loaded.
I didn't invite you to do that this time.
Can't do it.
All right, yeah, we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Maybe.
Wedlocked and loaded.
Wedlocked and loaded.